Unpopular Opinions, episode 28. Home economics needs to be mandatory to graduate high school. Okay, so you think about it, and this sounds relatively good on paper, right? Oh, like home economics, I get to learn how to do grocerying, sewing, shopping, or budgeting, and all that stuff, right? Gardening, like this person says in the post. But I think at the end of the day, the kids are just going to still do weed in the back and still bug the fucking teacher and not pay attention. So it doesn't really matter. You know, this reminds me a lot about kids who complain about I'm so sick of them teaching us geometry or Pythagorean theorem in class. Why can't they teach us how to do our taxes? I think some of them do. And they still don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I can understand why someone wanted to do this, but I just feel like it still wouldn't work because kids are just not going to give a fuck. And it's just mostly like those high school kids that just don't care. Like I said, I just do weed in the back, make out with each other, and just start picking at each other's fucking buttholes. I know I used to do that shit for real. But yeah, I just can't see this working. Also, like another thing too is that if you do one of these classes, I feel like it would have to be an elective. But then again, do you really have to spend half a semester teaching some kid how to do gardening or cooking or sewing or grocery shopping? Like, I don't really feel like it's something that it's just hard to, I guess, implement that as well. Just because I feel like some of them are not really something that you need to be taught like a full-on whole semester for. So I can understand what this person's saying, what they mean, but I just feel like it wouldn't really work in high school. At least that's for me. But let me know what you guys think. All places should be closed on holidays. Restaurants and grocery stores, shops, everything. If you're not an emergency service, you should be closed. Okay, so I can see this. I can understand why someone would want to do this. Maybe this person works holidays. I know because I worked quite a few holidays. I work at a restaurant. I worked Christmas Eve. I worked Easter. I worked 4th of July. And I worked on Halloween. I worked a lot of those recently, and it does kind of fucking suck because it's just dead as shit and you don't get any customers. But I think the better alternative would just be that you get double the pay or triple the pay. I know I think some countries do that. I think maybe some states do that. I don't know if it's here in Texas. Honestly, just fucking companies are scummy as shit. Maybe Texas is supposed to do that, but they don't do that. But I think ideally you would just kind of want just triple or double the pay during holidays. I think that would just kind of incentivize more people to work, because some people just don't give a fuck about holidays. Some people just don't have family or friends, and that's cool. No hate. Or sometimes they just don't. Yeah, they just don't celebrate holidays. Goddamn. So they would much rather work. And another thing too is this person said that like restaurants, grocery stores, shops, everything. If you're not an emergency service, you should be closed. So if everything that is not emergency service is closed, how will people who work an emergency service get what they need, right? Like if it's gas or food or just a lot of just important stuff, how would they get that if everything else is closed, right? So that just doesn't help. So I think ideally it would just be that everyone works and you get paid double or triple. I think that would be the ideal situation. And I know some places are like that, but realistically, not all of them, because, like I said, companies are fucking scummy, and those bitches are easily on the Epstein list for sure. And the last one is first class should be called last in flights. First class passengers should be called last when boarding. It gives time to be late when you need to be there before everyone, just to be called first if you're paying like 10 times. It avoids all other people walking through you as they board. Since the seats are in front, it's super easy to fill up last with no delays. Plane fills up faster because first class people are not in the way as coach heads to the back of the plane. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna spit on you when I walk by first class. No, I'm just kidding. If I remember correctly, I think first class gets to board no matter what. I think they have like their own little separate lane or some shit like that. That they can just kind of walk into and just skip the line or something like that. I just know that I think first class can just board whenever they want. Doesn't necessarily mean first. Secondly, I just feel like it just doesn't really matter. I still feel like it's gonna take a long time to fill up the fucking plane. It's gonna take a long time for the plane to head out or to land or to get off. I still think it's gonna take a long time because it's just a lot of fucking people. No matter what, shit's gonna take forever. I don't feel like it's necessarily first class that's maybe taking out so long. I don't think it's the last class or like the last people to board that's making it take so long. It's just everyone in general. It's just a lot of people. So no matter what, I think the plane is still gonna take a long time to head out or land, whatever. So there's that. And then I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those. It was like, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I just feel like no matter what, it's just gonna be the same first or last, it's still gonna be no different. I think people just want to, what is it called, that first class people, they just want to land there, drink their fucking wine, and then stick their fingers in each other's bums and all that stuff. I mean, I know I used to do that shit all the time too. So yeah, should first class be called last in flights? To be honest, I don't really care. But I guess no. I think it's fine the way it is. I think it's totally fine. It's whatever. It's like I said, no matter what, I think the plane's still gonna take a while to take off. So yeah, that's really it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.